Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. Today I want to introduce to you a concept or a mindset that I call bending reality to your will. You're not a slave or a victim to your current circumstances. If you don't like the current version of reality you've been dealt, it's completely within your power to bend it to your will, as long as that is in alignment with the laws of this universe, of course. It just takes a high degree of consciousness, willpower, relentlessness, never giving upness, and acceptance that maybe what you want or what you think that you want, maybe you can't get it in the way you think it should look like, I think this is what it should be. Clearly, because things are like this, I cannot get that. No, you just have to go after it, observe what happens, and be willing to adjust both the way you go about it, but your expectations as well. And in the end, you will end up with something that you wanted, or even better, because it didn't come easy, because it took for you to adjust and learn a lot in the process, okay? Before Uncommon Sense, when I was that skinny fat loser, hedonist, nihilist, hipster kind of guy, just escaping reality through vices, drinking excessively, smoking weed, partying, hooking up with girls, watching porn, playing video games, watching TV series for hours and hours on end, just escaping anytime I'm not working or studying, because I just have to do that, because you have to do something. Never had any passion or ambition with any of that. I spent my time escaping reality through these vices. But even that guy back then, even though he was a way less conscious and developed human being, even that guy wanted to be someone worthy of admiration, right? He wanted to be someone that had a positive impact on the world. He just could not accept what it had to look like, It should be this, like, clearly, because the world is like this. Oh, I have all these abilities. I see all this potential within me, but because the world is like this, and this happened to me, all the political situation, everything now, it's just not possible because of that, right? Then I had the first panic attack one day, right? When I will never be able to explain to anyone that has experienced something like that how brutal it was, okay? It's by far, I've felt pretty terrible at some time since then, a crippling anxiety, but never ever before or after then have I experienced something like I did then. The closest I can come to describe it, imagine the most intense terror or fear, nervousness, stress you ever experienced, or a psychedelic gone wrong in the worst sense, psychedelic trip gone wrong in the worst sense, right? Only that you don't even have to fall back on that. Oh, I took a drug. That's why I feel like this. It just happened, It just happened, and I remember coming home, looking down at my hand. See, it doesn't feel like it's my hand. It's like I'm wearing virtual reality goggles, right? And I feel like I must have fucked up. This is not supposed to happen. How do I get back from this? It's like I'm feeling like I want to kill myself, because this is too much. I cannot handle this. And I wrote it out, finally, after hours. And it felt like an eternity. It felt okay for a little while, but I knew that this was not the first time. Definitely not just one of a few times either. This is my reality now. This is the reality I've been dealt now. And I realized finally that I cannot have it my way. Because my way would of course been that, oh, that was a one-time thing. Oh, that was a nice warning. And now, I'm glad that's over. Now I feel motivated to take on things in life. Nope, I have to face this now on a daily basis. So finally I just have to accept that. Because what I wouldn't accept is that this is it, What the voice was telling me, that you fucked up. It's over. There's no coming back from this. I refuse, okay? I will not have that happen. But clearly I don't get to choose what this looks like, right? So I came up with this program of going on sick leave half-time so I can get some relief. Because clearly I'm not in a poor state, but I cannot lock myself inside. That's what I refuse. I refuse to either end my life or just live a life that is as good as being dead. So being shut away in a room away from everyone, probably end up going on medication, being some kind of zombie. Right? I refuse. So I go on sick leave for half-time, so I keep this routine of trying to go to work, Every time, it's just 3 hours I have to be at work, but I have to get there and get home too, right? It's a struggle every day, okay? Sometimes I have to turn around, even just coming down to the subway. I don't even make it into the office, right? And I come home, and that voice is that after I've done this over and over, a few days I managed to be there for the entire half day, I get back. And then afterwards, many times I take back steps. I cannot again. I have to turn around. They're down at the subway, and that voice says, clearly this is not working. Like, don't, what's the point? You sleep. Man, I wanted to sleep so much. Just give up, don't have to face all of that. But I refuse. It was not supposed to end like this. This is not how my life was supposed to go. Get up again. Do it again. Okay? And I could keep telling this over and over because this was the pattern of my life for a few months now. That I keep facing it. Few days, I have a victory. I manage to be there. I feel good then. Then immediately, next day, backstep, cannot even make it in there. That voice tells me, just check out. Just go to sleep. It would be so nice. I cannot do it. Neither for me or for anyone else, okay? How can I do that to my parents that had a tough life with me and my little brother, right? How can I just have them find me, corpse, in my apartment? I won't have it. And this was not the life I was supposed to have. Get up again, do it again, over and over, okay? And then finally, after these months, it felt like an eternity. I feel like I aged like 30 years in that time, right? Finally, I didn't get the panic attacks anymore. And I was so worn out at this point, but I had bent reality to my will. Everything about the reality I was dealt was telling me that it's over. You fucked up. You went too far. There's not even now when you're actually finally trying. There's no going back. See? There's no going back. You end up in this fucking spot over and over and over again. I refused. I bent reality. Finally, it was over. And so, realizing that, man, I've been giving a new chance in life, I take on this. It's like, okay, they say, that the way you eat and physical training that influences how you feel on every level, not just physical, right? I'm talking this way because I think it's so fucking, how can we, it's insane these times we live in when you can become so disconnected from your nature that it's not obvious that, of course, making the hardware run well, it's like, okay, if you have psychological trauma and shit, it won't make it go away, but obviously you'll feel better on every level if your body is operating, function properly, more than properly, to a high degree, right? I started with a very simple routine of just improving my diet. I'm so grateful, guys. I get something, this is what happens to when you go through something like that. I don't know why today, but it happens to me every once in a while that it just washes over me. Where I was and where I am now, and it's completely thanks to me, okay? Anyway, this not just happened. I was not just lucky. I had to fight for what I have today. I had to say, I reject this reality. Because we cannot just change it, right? But I'm going to take what I have here and just, never give up. I'm going to make it what I want, okay? And so I started just improving my diet, taking out the obvious junk. My diet could be simplified as chicken, rice, broccoli. Not the most nutrient-dense, but a clear upgrade from what I was doing before. I started doing these 15-minute workouts of just negative pull-ups 3 times per week for the first couple of weeks. I started adding push-ups, and I added on things like that until I had a little home routine, right? So fast, I noticed that I am feeling so much better, This is clearly the way to go. But I had to keep bending reality because the reality I was dealing with now, I did not want to do any of these things. I felt resistance to it all the time. Like the diet was okay for the most part, but I would get like cravings, want to eat shit. I had to use willpower to just resist, right? The workouts, I was in so poor shape. I did not enjoy it. I had not found the mindset that I think it's cool to be a beast, get strong, enjoy that I'm pushing myself like that, right? So I had to keep bending very actively, right? But after a point, when I was both looking and feeling so much better, that was the entire thing that made it so worth it, that it didn't come for free, didn't just fall into my lap. I wasn't just lucky. No, this was all me. I know all the resistance that I felt, what things were like for me, what I had to overcome in order to get there, right? And now to take a few just a bit less dramatic things than the initial thing that put me on this path, realizing that, hey, I cannot just dictate like some kind of god what my reality is, but I can take what I have and just squeeze it like clay into what I want in the end, right? And sometimes maybe I squeeze it in the wrong way, maybe, this doesn't quite look like what I want. Well, start over, squeeze it from a different angle, try it new. Okay, maybe I cannot make it exactly into that, but I can make it to something close to that, right? This is the mindset, what I mean. Just refusing what you've been dealt, and keep coming up with ways that you can further bend it, adjusting your expectations, seeing what you get back from life, right? Until you end up there, right? So then we can just take with the training. I go on my path of training, I improve on it more and more, it becomes more and more just ingrained in the person that I am. Just something that I do. I overcome this huge resistance I feel and that. But at some point, you realize I want to do this naturally, because this was always about health, right? So what is even possible naturally? You start looking for information online, and all that you come upon is so blackpilling. It's like, now you can barely do shit. That site, natty or not, he's calling everyone that looks decent, fake natural, right? And so I'm like, according to some info I found, it's like, my results in 2 years that are, pretty good, but it's like, really, this is all? With everyone bigger at this on steroids? I mean, a lot of people lie about it. I guess it's possible that like almost anyone that looks good is a little bigger or on gear. But I mean, I've done this I feel like I have so much more room for improvement. Well, the reality that's presented for me is that you won't get much further than this naturally. I refuse. I'm gonna find out, At least, at the very least, I'm gonna find out then that I maxed out, so I can feel good about that. That, well, it's not due to me and my poor work ethic or my poor methods or my unwillingness to grow and try new things and adjust, right? If nothing else, I'm gonna find out that, well, you took it as far as you literally could, And of course, when I went on that path, I just kept growing and growing and growing. Now, from that point, we're almost 5 years later, I still know I'm not done, right? It's slowing down, but I'm not done. And yeah, just I knew since when I started on this path, quite soon I realized that this is it's not only a personal passion of mine or like my self-improvement process. I'm so fucking good at this and explaining it and guiding other people through that. I can see that in my life. I'm influencing people already. I want to work with this. And it's not just about training. I could clearly see, because of the place I came from, it's like, like I say about my holistic bodybuilding, the physical process of natural bodybuilding, that's a cornerstone, but that's clearly not what it's all about. But that seemed, all I had been presented with, I've always been so lost in like what I want to do for a living, my profession, right? So if he's so far away, it's like, okay, clearly I would have to run a business, come up with like my own job, my own service and provide that. So I have no idea how that works, But I cannot just snap my fingers and have people understand and be willing to just pay me and go along. There's some kind of process I need to go through here. Okay. The reality I see right now is that I have no fucking clue how to get there. Well, I'll have to go walking somewhere. I start the personal training education, right? Because I know that that's still part of it. It can't be a wrong thing to do. And also I'm gonna, even if I want to, because what I saw with this sort of service, and I had started doing content, right, that it's very likely that it will be some kind of online service that I do mainly, right? But when you're gonna train people, among the things you provide is training, you need experience doing that in person. So I started with that, right? Doing the personal training, and I do that. It's like, working with clients was fine, but I could tell that, this kind of job, the way it works, that's not really what I want here, right? And I get recruited to pretty much the best PT job you can have when you're employed in Sweden. Like literally the pay, most people that have gone like have a master's and work in some kind of office with, I don't know, economics or something, you would literally make more money like being employed, personal trainers, because it's like a luxury place, right? I get recruited to there, but I just don't like it, I don't give a shit that it's like status or anything. This is not just being some fucking little, I don't know, just service person that just makes someone feel good about their luxury training experience, but not really providing any proper self-improvement for this person at all, because that's what I saw, what it was in practice with a lot of people there. Not to say that there wasn't anyone that took their training seriously, but it's a spa. There's people that go there, they just like this experience. This is not what I was about at all. And it was a little strange because you are technically employed, but the way it worked there is that you have to start a business, the customers pay that place, and then you send the invoice to them. So I had started a company, and at that point I had a couple thousand of subscribers on YouTube, and maybe half on Instagram, I don't remember. But I just started fumbling in the dark. I was speaking to a friend who also had started going his own way with like a sort of coaching-like business, And I just started making posts where I, at the end, after giving some kind of good information, said like, I'm looking for people that want to change their life like this, and that. And I just recruited people. And then you come upon all of this. I have no way, how do I even charge people, for this, I didn't know anything, but this is what it had to look like. I couldn't just jump to the moment when, I just deserve to be in some spot where people want to work with me like this. I had to figure it out. Okay, this is what it works. This is what it looks like. I have to find some kind of program to, keep track of my clients. I know that I want, the way I track my own process and go about it, that's what I'm going to have to do with the clients, right? I started working then in a program called Notion, creating this workspace for it. Suddenly I'm there that I'd known years before that I wanted to be doing my own thing, but it felt so far away, and I'm like, is it even possible, But this is what I mean with bending reality to your will. When you know that you want something, and that it's clearly, physically possible, lots of other people run around doing it, If you remove all your fucking ego stories and victim stories, no, but this, I'm not ready yet for this, it would be difficult for me because of this. Just like, okay, what can I do now? How can I start heading there? Can I take reality as I have it now and start squeezing it into what I want, right? And then we can just take the YouTube channel. People have been telling me, people that found me early and stuff, even when my channel was way smaller, people have been telling me, and just recently also, now that it even is bigger, that you deserve more subscribers, And I kind of felt like that too, like, yeah, I know. I know I'm doing great shit here. It's good value. This is this is unique. No one does exactly what I do, Since very early, people have sent me emails and stuff telling me how I inspire them to make huge changes in their lives. Like even, people that I don't work with, just having that effect. So yeah, clearly, where are the fucking subscribers that I deserve? But also, I've known that I don't want to just grow a YouTube channel by any means, or starting a business by any means. I could, if I was just more populist, if I just spoke to what I thought would make the channel grow more, what thought would just generate more clients for me without actually thinking about who is my client, who do I put, in what way does that happen, do I actually help them, or I just feeding my ego and my success in that way, and I just didn't want that. And I just stuck to the path. I've been having doubts many times, feeling like, is this even going to work out? But I've known that's the reality I want. This kind of thing is what I want to do. I refuse to do anything else. And finally, I got rewarded by just sticking to being true to myself and what I do, keep putting out things good, going in the direction I think like this. Putting out valuable things, that's what it's about. I guess even when it grows slowly, that's just what I have to do. Suddenly I'm rewarded with that old video going viral. I tripled. What took 5 years to get, I tripled in 2 months and then added another 5K, right? Now it's slowing down again, but I've learned too much that, yeah, I think I deserve more subscribers. Yeah, in the end I think so. But if I want it in the way I want it, to be true and genuine in the end, it's... there are things I can do. There are little things I will play on, certain titles and stuff that would get picked up more. But in the end, it's like, that's what I mean. Other than just bending reality, just refusing to accept the current reality you've been dealt, it's also that you have to, you have to have ego that you think, I can do it. I'm the fucking best. I can do it. But you have to be ego-less enough to be like, well, clearly I don't get to decide what that looks like, I can just do what I do, be as good of a person, follow my values as much as possible, look at reality, do little adjustments, and then in the end, I don't get to decide exactly what that looks like, at what speed it happens, but in the end, I will get what I want. I will have bent reality to my will. The last thing I leave you with before closing out this video is, do you know why it's called will? Why we say I will? Because it takes willpower. When you say I will do something, it's not something that's just gonna happen to you. I will will it into reality through my actions, through my perseverance, through my persistence, right? I will do it. I will go for it. I will see what's happening around me. I will adjust. I will keep going. I will get to where I need to be, where I should be, where I want to be in the end. So please like and comment, guys. Always interested to see what you have to say. It helps the algorithm too, helps more people find their way here, so it's very much appreciated. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching, getting jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, I know, because of what I've done with me, you know, I know that it's possible for everyone. Everyone has their convenient fucking little victim story, you know, and you want to focus on, but he has that, or he has that. You know, I was not lucky, okay? If I could do that, if I could bend that initial thing with the panic attacks, I can do anything, and so can you, okay? Anything that's in alignment with the laws of this universe. So if you're interested in my coaching programs, you can send me a DM on Instagram or email me. I'll get back to you with my different options. You can pick up my training book. That one is focused on the training, but everything philosophy and mindset related that you need to become a self-reliant, jacked and stacked individual. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building myself, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. We don't accept the reality we've been dealt if we don't like it. We bend it to our will. Peace.